Hey everybody, welcome to Crack Pack Tuesday number 79 on the Mana League. I'm John as always, and we've got ourselves another pack of Kaladesh here. Still, zero inventions, zero expeditions from the Zendikar block. Maybe today? Probably not. I expect to just never see one, but we're going to crack this open, see what's inside, and see what we would take. Pack one, pick one, if this was a draft. Up first, we have ourselves a Reckless Fireweaver. Reckless Fireweaver, 1 and a red for a creature, human artificer at common. It's a 1/3. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, Reckless Fireweaver deals 1 damage to each opponent. I don't mind this. I think it's fine enough. You can pick them up later in the draft, though. We're never, ever going to first pick it. But I do like them. I have had a deck where I've had a few, and things like Cogworker's Puzzle Knot and Fabricate and etc. The lack of Fabricate in red does hurt the potential of this being a real deck, but it's an option and it blocks really well, but never a first pick. Up next, we have Inspired Charge. Inspired Charge is 2 white for an instant. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. I recently forgot this was an instant. Generally, this effect is usually at sorcery speed. When it's set to instant, it's much better. The double white does hurt. However, you're just not going to play this unless you are in a really aggressive deck, like most Trumpet Blast style effects, and it's never, ever a first pick. Up next is Highspire Artisan. Highspire Artisan is 2 green for creature elf artificer with reach and fabricate 1. It's fine. It's totally fine. You can make a servo if you want. You can give this a counter if you want. Both are viable options at different points and different board states, but it's never a first pick card. You can get that very late mid-pack. Up next is Night Market Lookout. Night Market Lookout is a single black mana for a creature human rogue. Whenever Night Market Lookout becomes tapped, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I gave this an F in my set review, and I think it's better than that, but it's still like a C-. This isn't a deck, and this doesn't win you the game, but it's playable if you have a spot for it, I guess. But it's a pretty late pickup, late mid-pack, even early late pack, we can say. Up next is Self-Assembler. Self-Assembler is 5 generic mana for an artifact creature assembly worker. When Self-Assembler enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a card called for an assembly worker. Put it into your hand and then shuffle your library. This is also better than I thought, and again, not that much better than I thought, but I am willing to play these as long as I have 2 or 3. That's kind of the ideal number for me. The first one you don't play, but number 2 and number 3 are much better. I take these sort of mid-pack now. Mid-pack, pack 1. You don't want to start taking these pack 3 thinking, oh, maybe now I'll get a bunch. But pack 1, if there's nothing in a color that you're really excited by, Self-Assembler is a fine pick, but never first pick. Up next is Inventor's Goggles. Inventor's Goggles is a single generic mana for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+2 whenever an artificer enters the battlefield under your control. You may attach Inventor's Goggles to it. The equip cost is 2 generic mana. It's fine. It's begrudgingly playable. I dislike that it's playable, but it is. I still don't personally play them that often, but if you have a spot for an equipment, it can go in fine. You want to have some number of artificers in your deck. You're not required to have a ton. It is still a cheap equip cost, but I'm not impressed by Goggles. It's still begrudgingly playable and never a first pick. Up next is Giant Spectacle. Giant Spectacle, 1 and a red for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+1 and has menace. If you're being really aggressive, this is totally fine. I will play this card probably more regularly than a lot of people will. I know limited resources and whatnot were very low on this card, but I remember Madcap skills, and this thing can just go crazy. But you do need to be an aggressive deck. Do not put this in a mid-range or control deck, and never first pick it. I'm finding this to happen a lot with Kaladesh. A lot of packs where you just look through the cards and you're just like, no. There are some weak packs out there. Impeccable Timing is going to be our first pick card in this pack. 1 and a white for an instant. Impeccable Timing deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Yeah, it's removal. It's conditional, but it does hit a lot of things. It doesn't hit the Self-Assembler that we've seen, but it hits the other creatures we've seen so far. It's fine. It's not premium removal, but in this pack anyways, we could consider first picking it. Up next is Consulate Skygate. Consulate Skygate is 2 generic mana for an artifact creature wall. It has Defender, as all walls do, and it has Reach, as only some walls do. It's fine as a sideboard card, or if you are absolutely certainly going to be grindy late game, then it could be main deckable, but you're never first picking this. This is a late pickup. Our final common, meaning that we have 10 commons, meaning that, again, no masterpiece in this pack, is Curio Vendor. 1 blue for a creature Vidalkin. It has no class. It's a 2/1. That's it. If you are desperate for a creature, here you go, but you generally don't want to be playing that, and certainly never first pick. Our first uncommon is a Blossoming Defense. Whoops, hit the camera there. Blossoming Defense is a single green mana for an instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. I like this combat trick. I like this combat trick a lot. I would never first pick it, as I would never first pick any combat trick ever. It's not that powerful. But I would take this mid-pack and be relatively happy with it, and I'd pretty much always play it, assuming that I had creatures and planned on attacking with them, which is 99.9% of all limited decks. But yeah, it's not first pickable, but it's really good. So, see ya, Blossoming Defense. Next up, we have Engineered Might. Engineered Might is 3 green-white for a sorcery. Choose 1. Target creature gets +5/+5 and gains trample until end of turn, or creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance until end of turn. I don't like this card at all. It's 5 mana for a sorcery speed spell. Yeah, just no. We have Larger Than Life, which is 1 and a green for a sorcery for +4/+4 and trample. This is a lot more mana, 2 different colors, to get +5/+5 and trample. So that part of the spell is just awful compared to a common in the same set. Creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance until end of turn. It's a little bit better, but not having trample just means your opponent blocks everything. Maybe they have to chump block, but they don't just die from it. It's sorcery speed, so there's no surprise to it. I basically never, ever plan to play this card. Ever. Certainly never first pick it. Our final uncommon is Minister of Inquiries. Minister of Inquiries is a single blue mana for a creature Vidalkin Advisor. When Minister of Inquiries enters the battlefield, you get energy. Tap, pay an energy. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. This is fine if you can get multiples, and if you can't, you shouldn't be playing it. If there's ever a place to take Minister of Inquiries, it would be here, but I don't think from a competitive perspective you should ever do that. If you want to be cute, if you want to have some fun, go ahead, give it a try. Maybe you'll get more. Maybe you won't, and it just doesn't work out. Personally, from a competitive aspect, that's never a card you're first picking, ever. And generally a card that you're never playing, unless, as I said, you do get multiples of them. Well, we are still on impeccable timing, as the single first pickable card in this pack. Does our rare get there? Well, it does. It's Master Trinketeer. 2 and a white for a creature Dwarf Artificer. It's a 3/2. Servos and Thopters you control get +1/+1, and for 3 and a white, you can create a 1/1 colorless Servo Artifact creature token. Yeah, I like Master Trinketeer. I've played with it. In fact, I played with it in an F&M draft deck where I had it and Angel of Invention, meaning that my Servos and Thopters were 3/3s. Yeah. This is a fine card. It's a fantastic first pick because you can heavily dive into a Fabricate deck, be it white-green or white-black. Yeah, I like Master Trinketeer quite a bit. And considering this pack was utter garbage, it's easily the first pick. So Master Trinketeer, my first pick, hopefully your first pick. If there's something else that you think is better, let me know in the comments down below or in the poll in the top right-hand corner. But this pack was miserable. Yeah. Anyways, as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. You can find me on Twitter at The Mana Leak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at facebook.com/TheManaLeak, twitch.tv/TheManaLeak, and patreon.com/TheManaLeak. There is, of course, the 24-hour stream coming up November 5th, so make sure that you check that out. You can check out the announcement video, either in my video archive, or there will be a link at the end of this video, but check that out. It'll be a fun time, and we're going to raise some money for the Children's Health Network hospitals. But if you do have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.